send sharpshooter Kyle Korver to Cleveland. The reaction from the internet was fantastic. Zach Lowe said that looks Korver will...
You'd come back at night. That was the mind.
12 minutes a game, but during those 12 minutes, he shot 39% from behind the arc on nearly 3 attempts. By the end of his rookie year, with AI's guidance, he was about to become one of the best ever. Because of the promise he showed in year 1, by year 2, his minutes skyrocketed from 12 to over 30 a game.
It's one thing to cheer when your team makes a play. It's another thing to cheer your team to make a good play. You know, I thought a couple times when we were down, they really got us going. So that was really awesome tonight. But we really put on a list with all those other good players just to, with the opportunity to make the team. It's great all around. I'm really excited. Obviously we're focused on the season now, but the summer will be something else to look forward to, something else to kind of, help you out getting ready for the season. And I'm excited. Danny told me in London, said that they had contacted him and wanted to do that. And then my agent called me after that, so I've known for like a week or so. But it's still cool. I think in August we meet in Las Vegas, and there's a mini camp, and they're going to select a team. So go there and see what we can do, including me. So it's good to have it out of the way. It's been a long time in the making. So it's good to have it over, but I'm sure we'll reflect on it later. But it's a cool thing.
I saw quite a few people kind of saying congratulations, and saying things to you on the court. What did people say to you once you hit that 3?
A lot of people just said congrats, and just they were happy for me. It's cool coming from the other team, when they do that. It's just.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Oh, 2005. There you are. Bobcat.
I'm playing at the 5.
I don't think of you a ton of attempts that year, but just came back and was fighting for my spot back on the team, and was pretty focused and was able to find a nice little rhythm. But yeah, it was one of those years. It was probably the hair. I'll just say it was the hair. And you kicked it out. There was no thought of shooting threes on the break. We didn't have threes as a play. There weren't plays to shoot threes unless it was the very end of the game. You know this. So watching this all change and to get to be a part of that change has been gratifying. A lot of people ask me, wouldn't you rather just start playing right now? And it's been fun to be a part of the whole thing and to watch the game change and evolve. Behind someone, you got to be able to run the baseline, like you said. You got to find the corner. You got to know where that open spot might be. You got to be able to read the defense.
Kyle Korver sets the new NBA record, the most consistent three-point shooter in NBA history.
And there's the record. Now you can put it in the books at 127. Check out Korver. It's money. A 3. Korver, that's a deep 3. Kyle Korver.
And you catch so many passes and you play so many games, eventually you start to see the laces spinning as the ball's coming to you, falls into it, and you don't even know what you're doing.
That's right.
But you've just done it so many times that you find that lace, and it helps you out a ton. Search out more shots, and I got a little more freedom to run around, and it helps you as a shooter. When you're sitting there and you're waiting for a shot.
Korver in the corner, doesn't need much space, buries the 3. Kyle Korver is on target, a 3.
Shooting the basketball is going to be something I love to do every day. How'd that come about?
Well, I played point guard for a long time. Okay.
Korver. Boom. Double boom. Triple boom. And how about a quad on the run?
And I'm a shooter, that's just who I am.
Korver, again, a good look. Kyle Korver, best in the league doing it this year.
They want to hang out with you, or they, just from a young age, that's just kind of, what I came to kind of see as.
Yes, sir. Find him. Find him. Find him. Cash.
Thousands of players have put on an NBA uniform to mid-court. Of all those who have been on the court, no one has been more consistent from three-point land than Hawks forward Kyle Korver.
Korver, three-pointer. Kyle Korver, just simply, if you get him any kind of a look at all, Korver's going to knock it down.
Korver knew from an early age that if he wanted to make it in the NBA, shooting runs deep in the Korver family tree. His three brothers played or are playing Division I basketball. His father and 4 uncles played D3 hoops, as did his mother, Lane, who could be the biggest gunner in the group.
Mom played in high school and then a couple years in college. She scored 74 points in a game in high school. She averaged like 43.
Korver's career NBA average, some 33 points below Mom's, but Lane respects that nearly 60% of her son's points have come from beyond the arc.
I think the goal every day for me, just before the game or whatever it is, like I don't really try to get to a certain number of shots every day. I try to get to a certain rhythm and feeling every day. And so maybe that's 20 shots, maybe that's...
You say he's got no pressure on him, right? He got no pressure. He just got invited this week.
Yeah, I think he got pressure. The stage is a little bit different when you're out here without Allen Iverson.
And you know what other pressure? Well, he gonna get that. He gonna get a lot.
And Dennis didn't believe that I could even dunk. He asked me tonight after the game if that was my first one ever. But so anyway, there was some chatter about it, and Elton made a bet with me, $100 bet. What would happen first? Me get a dunk or he hit a 3?
Korver was one of the most popular Jazz players in the 2.5 years he was here. He's one of the best shooters in the game, and the Jazz certainly need someone who can shoot. They're second to the worst in the NBA in three-point shooting this year. Korver set the NBA record by making 52% of his three-point shots. He was an all-star one year in Atlanta. He's 37 years old at the end of his career, but he can still shoot and should help the Jazz. He's 46% three-point shooter this year, 43% three-point shooter.
3 seasons with the Jazz from 2008 to 2010, averaged around 8 points per game in a Jazz uniform. In his final season with the Jazz, he shot nearly 54% from 3. Korver will give the Jazz much-needed help from the three-point line, which the Jazz are second to last in the NBA. And over the last 3 seasons in Cleveland, he's spent the last 3 seasons in Cleveland, and he'll turn 38 in March, so he's a little older. Jazz will send Alec Burks and 2 future second-round picks to the Cavs in exchange for Kyle Korver.
O's in the air, up, no, tap, no. Wade bats it out of there. Run down by the Bulls. Korver got it!
Yes! It's raining jumpers in Chicago, baby! Give me a little more hot sauce, Kyle.
This might be fanned out, but Korver has it at the top.
It's Gibson, and with all the attention on him, he finds Korver for the 3.
57 threes made in the fourth quarter for Kyle Korver this season, the most in the NBA.
Wade bats it out of there. Run down by the Bulls. Korver got it!
Yes! It's raining jumpers in Chicago, baby! Kyle Korver! Big shots!
Like I was making really quick decisions, like either shoot the ball really fast or pass the ball really fast. But, trying to come off, take your time.
This time he fanned out, but Korver has it at the top. And nothing
It's
but
raining jumpers in Memphis.
And it was broken up.
Give it to me, give it to me.
Again.
He's hot. Give me a little more hot sauce, Kyle.
I don't know what it means.
Pull it out, man. That's all that matters.
It's just, you got to be a pro, and you got to.
Can the Hawks keep the longest playoff streak in the Eastern Conference alive?
You knew that was bound to happen sooner than later.
Cavaliers now 7 of 11 outside the arc.
He is first on the Hawks' all-time free throw percentage, third of the club's all-time three-point field goals made, 8th in NBA history, with 1,872 career threes.
Hawks now need a 2 to tie, 3 to win. Korver for the win.
Bam!
Got it!
Up ahead to Al Horford. Al over to Kyle. Kyle Korver, left side 3.
Bury it, baby! Kyle Korver setting an Atlanta Hawks record with 8 threes in the second half.
There it is. Bingo.
Got it! Kyle Korver sets the new NBA record. 90 games in a row with a three-pointer. The most consistent three-point shooter in NBA history.
There are 4 Atlanta Hawks on the court.
Here comes Dennis. Quick pass to Kyle Korver. Right side 3 by Kyle. Bang! Pull up 3 for Korver.
Kyle Korver for Kyle Korver! Millsap holds against Zaza. Baseline, Korver, same spot. He's hit 2 there. How about 3 shots? Oh yeah, Kyle Korver is back.
It's hard to start over, all the way over. And so, there's a few cities that we were kind of hoping for. I missed phone calls and called the GM of Cleveland back. But to come back to play against the Jazz, I hadn't really thought about that, but I'm glad that's happening.
Well, many memories in Utah.
Coming in as a young single guy and had 2.5 really fun years, and so it's fun to think about going. I only played for him 1 year in Atlanta, but he was the first coach.
Kyle returned to the Cavaliers a couple of weeks before the NBA playoffs, only 7 days after his brother's death.
The first round against Indiana, it was just I just be crying.
Then all played in college, but the competition started on the court.
We all wanted to be good because Kyle's very good.
Kyle has carved out a strong career, now in his 15th season. But as he was preparing to make another playoff run with the Cavs, he received news from his mother that would change everything.
We played Phoenix.
Kyle Korver is one of the greatest three-point shooters in history, but he sees himself as the
absolutely still be in the league. Not only is Kyle Korver never announced his retirement, so why is he sitting out? The answer is a lot bigger than basketball.
And interesting undertones. He realizes that for the wrong reasons to a certain fan base, and he said,
Great White Hope.
Hey, listen, just know that if you do buy my jersey, if I am a symbol for you, know that this is what I believe.
Right.
And I thought that was a really interesting.
On March 11th. It's about so much more than that, though, because he addresses the issue of white privilege. In the piece, Korver asked the following questions. He says, quote, how can I, as a white man, part of this systemic problem, become part of the solution when it comes to racism in my workplace?
Did he really find himself questioning some things? And then he had never spoken about it until a reporter approached him a few weeks ago to ask him about what had transpired with Russell Westbrook and the fan in Utah. So that conjured up thoughts about what happened to Sefolosha, what his initial thoughts were about what happened to Sefolosha, and it gave...
We sound like a broken record, but Kyle Korver just worked his tail off.
Korver again. Unbelievable. Korver for the tie. Got it!
You can see the confidence starting to beam off of him, so they're going to have to find him.
Korver needs a 3, takes a 3, makes a 3.
Korver for 3. Yes! Wade backs it out of there. Run down by the Bulls. Korver got it!
Yes! It's Wade Jumpers in Chicago, baby!
The most consistent three-point shooter in NBA history.
They were chanting Kyle Korver's name an hour before tip here.
Kicks it out.
There it is. Bingo.
Got it! Kyle Korver sets the new NBA record. 90 games in a row.
He has now hit a three-point shot in 122 consecutive games.
Korver gets rid of it quickly, and nobody does it better.
Still amazing with that three-point shot at age 36.
Korver, good look for 3. Got it! They have tied the record for most threes in a finals game.
Korver throws it up deep. Got it!
Well, forget that shallow stuff. Kyle Korver likes the deep end.
Throw out to the corner. Look at the follow through. What a beautiful thing.
Another 3 by Kyle Korver.
Someone's got to look at the scouting report and understand that Kyle Korver is number 4 all time in three-point field goals made.
Here's Korver, and he rattles another one down.
That was a pretty big moment for me. I love watching, guys. The last few years, you love playing against the Lakers, you love playing against Cleveland, you love playing against Boston. I don't even know where to start.
Millsap outside. Korver fires, bang, kicks it. Korver fires it, scores it.
I saw him drain 10 shots from that corner when he was warming up today.
Now it's 11. Korver, he gave him room and he poured it in. Korver open again, good again.
Oh, my goodness.
Doesn't take much, and he knocked down the three.
Well, especially guys who played with him.
Yeah,
you know his game.
He is 4 for 4. Butler had it blocked away. Here comes Carroll, back to Korver, and
unselfish play.
And run down by the Hawks. Here's Korver, raises up. Oh my gosh.
Korver 6 of 7 from the three-point line, 18 points.
Jimmy, that's stolen away. Cephalosha's on the move. And then he lost the handle, got it back to Korver firing. That's good. And a foul. That's going to be a potential 4-point play.
Wow. Wow. Kyle Korver, career high, 8 three-pointers in the game.
Bulls. All right, stories to start your morning. Sponsored by Gillette Clear Gel. Kyle Korver agreed to a 1-year deal to join the Bucks. Korver, known for his three-point prowess. How much is he known for it? Well, over the last 3 seasons, he's shot a higher percentage from deep.
I was like, wow, those are super cool. That was my first thought. You know, I think change is always a good thing. I like change, and to see like just kind of like the last year, everything that happened. You feel like there's so much growth and all this kind of design. Like it feels like it's easy to just pull like what's cool right now and try to throw it onto something. But I think when they explained the logos and all that, I thought it was really amazing.
And you kind of got your little taste of modeling today. You, Kent, Jeff, and Mike. How was that for you?
I think we messed up like 3 times, but that's why we play basketball.
Kind of halfway through the summer here, what has it been like for you recovering? And
that's Kyle. He just shoots with a lot of confidence. Second halves and fourth quarters for him have been huge for us this year, especially throughout this run. And I mean, we got stops when we needed.
People who may not look or act like you feel like you do, but you got to be able to be willing to be in those. Philadelphia and play basketball for the 76ers. Besides academically, Creighton is a high school, and Creighton was by far the best school basketball-wise that came after. I think the biggest thing I really learned how to just be on my own. I really things were a little bit smaller, and just kind of watching it grow now just made you feel like you were at home. They didn't just look at you as just the basketball player, but they really cared about you as a person. And that's something that I'll always remember. And
Standout Kyle Korver being inducted into the Creighton Athletics Hall of Fame tonight. 3 News Now's Phil Bergman.
How to treat people the right way.
In 1990, Pella, Iowa, with a knack of shooting the long ball, but Korver still felt he had something to prove.
And we came in here with a chip on our shoulder, and coach showed us how to use that.
Korver would take Altman's teams to 4 straight NCAA tournaments before embarking on a 15-year NBA career.
That wasn't us. That was his work ethic.
And it just became so much more evidence that you can go out and try to be you. I can't say thank you enough to Creighton and to Omaha for everything that they gave me as a person.
Middle of your screen, trying to flash out for that pass. Immediately catching. Now goes the 3. Korver working hard off the ball. Good matchup there with Kent Williams and Kyle Korver. They think if he sets his mind to it, next year as a senior, he's a guy who could do some things at the next level. On the 500 in your conference ranking. Kyle Korver with the 3, picking his spots beautifully. And for Kyle, only 7 points a pick. Blake Schoen ran into him and went down like he'd been punched. Kyle Korver after the pick.
And here's the 30 more. I had uncles that would tell me that cousins are looking up to me, whatever, and it's just something that I always kind of took pride in a little bit,
And only 7 turnovers in the second half. So you slowed the game down a little bit and played your game.
Yeah, for sure. Just
all over the country. The highlight reel is Korver off the glass. He became the first rookie ever to participate in the Eddie Gill, who gives Tinsley a breather after Tinsley picked up his second personal foul. Here's Korver again. Forget about it. Don't get him started. And Crozier 8, so the front line just destroying the 76ers. Korver off balance, unstoppable. 3 for 3 from downtown. Last year he had 5 in a game.
He was just trying to hit the rim. He was just hoping to hit the rim.
Atlanta Hawks guard Kyle Korver is having a terrific season, and that should come as no surprise. This season, Korver is on pace to become the first player to shoot at least 50% from the field, 50% on three-point shots, and 90% from the free throw line in qualified attempts.
The goal is to make your shot exactly the same every single time. When you practice the shot, that you are practicing the exact same shot every single time.
Pre-game shooting routine that his shot is consistent as possible.
Which to me, you warm up and then you kind of sit there for a long time and then you have a minute to make it happen, and you know, it's sometimes difficult to find your rhythm. When it came to understanding race, and if I want to be a real teammate, if I want to be not just a better friend, and so that was the beginning of a whole new path for me. It's been challenging, but I imagine the players who came before me, who risked everything by using big star or legend. Every time we use our voice, we're following in his footsteps. And as far as I'm concerned,
no, he doesn't host the TV show Punk'd. His name is Kyle Korver, and he's the newest addition to the Utah Jazz. Since his arrival to the Beehive State, Korver leads the team in scoring off the bench and has also helped lead them to an 11-2 record. A team in need of finesse behind the arc, Korver brings a sweet stroke, which has made him a career 40% three-point shooter. Born into a preacher's family helped Korver develop his desire to serve, and is something he finds peace in.
a group effort, and but hopefully we can find something like that here too, man. I'd love to do something like that. It'd be great.
As the season continues to unfold, look for Korver to strengthen both the Jazz and the Utah community. Jared Bray, Daily News, Salt Lake City.
My name is Kyle Korver, and I play in the NBA for the Atlanta Hawks. I started coming to...
That doesn't happen very often.
Kyle Korver.
You're out.
Yo, man, what are you doing? We haven't even started yet.
Let the games begin. I think I'm hoping that this is a great fit, and I'm looking forward to be here for a long time.
They may win in the future on their draft pick in that situation, but right now we got the player we wanted.
We have a team. You know, I hear that, and I kept on asking.
We see Korver on the court tonight.
And hopefully have enough sets down where I can go out there and play some. You know, whatever Coach Sloan wants me to do tonight, I'm obviously down for. I'd love to play as much as he would.